Insurance rates in Barbados rise. That's our top story in your Barbados Today evening news update for Friday, November the 3rd. So glad you could join us. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Barbadians will have to dig deeper in their pockets for all classes of insurance. The General Insurance Association of Barbados revealed this evening that customers will face increases from as low as 10% to as high as 25%. The association's president, Michael Holder, tells Barbados Today some companies have already hiked their rates, such as Trident Insurance. He explained that the introduction of recent taxes as well as unprecedented natural disasters have hit insurance companies and they have no choice but to hike premiums.
The insurance companies in Barbados are already bearing the cost of the foreign exchange tax levy, the 2%. They're also bearing Some of them are also bearing the cost of the tax on assets, the asset tax that was introduced in the budget earlier this year. And some may also be impacted by the NSRL. That now plus increased costs of reinsurance. Insurance companies cannot hold on to all of those costs themselves. Either some part of those costs has to be passed on to the consumer.
Okay.
So it's not a question of if rates can be increased. The question has to be to what extent will rates be increased.
In other news, for close to 2 hours, family, friends and dignitaries paid their final respects to the island's 6th Governor-General. In a moving service at the St. Lucie Parish Church, Sir Clifford Husbands was celebrated as an outstanding Barbadian both in his public and private life. Our Katrina King tells us more.
It was a grand farewell for one of Barbados' most beloved sons of the soil. The overcast skies and intermittent showers painted a revered and solemn atmosphere as dignitaries, including Acting Governor-General Sir Philip Graves, former Governor-General Sir Elliot Belgrave, and Lady Belgrave, filed into the St. Lucie Parish Church to pay their respects to the island's longest-serving head of state, Sir Clifford Husbands. It was a well-attended funeral that also included Prime Minister Fundell Stewart, former Prime Minister Owen Arthur, Chief Justice Sir Marston Gibson, former Chief Justice Sir David Simmons, members of Parliament and the opposition, as well as representatives of the diplomatic corps. In his eulogy, Queen's Counsel Brian Clark referred to Sir Clifford as a true son of the soil who loved agriculture. Born at Morgan Lewis Plantation in 1926, Sir Clifford could often be found working the ground wearing a straw hat. Due to his upbringing, he was a strong advocate for agriculture even during his 16-year tenure as Governor-General. He initiated a 2-week agricultural camp. A well-respected attorney at law, Sir Clifford also previously acted as Director of Public Prosecutions, Supreme Court Judge, Justice of the Court of Appeal, and Chief Justice. He was described as well-respected and possessing a wealth of knowledge. Sir Clifford was laid to rest next to his wife, Lady Ruby Husbands, at the St. Lucie Parish Church Cemetery. Katrina King reporting for Barbados Today.
In other news now, crop thieves, watch out. Agricultural officials are going high-tech to fight praedial larceny. This morning, senior officials of Viral Media Inc., local designers and operators of drones unveiled a pilot project on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, Food, Fisheries and Water Resource Management that will offer drone technology to combat praedial larceny.
To demonstrate the effectiveness, how it can maneuver and how it can assist, and send that signal back to you in real time so you can monitor your crops.
James Paul, Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, the umbrella body for farmers, welcomed the planned deployment of drones to fight praedial larceny.
Technology can work for you or it can work against you, depending on who's operating. The question of the regulations is going to be something that's going to be extremely important. And we cannot dismiss the necessity of putting in regulations, because if you allow the technology to go far and abroad, the same way, for instance, you think you are smart enough to ensure that, look, I can outsmart these people. They can also use the technology to outsmart you.
The police force is also on board with proposed plans to use drones to tackle crop and livestock crime. Head of Research and Development, Acting Assistant Superintendent of Police David Wilcher, notes that it adds value to the crime-fighting apparatus of law enforcers and provides greater mileage in covering those areas which need to be policed.
When you take into consideration that we have some manpower or some resource deficits, we cannot realistically respond to every event in a timely manner, nor can we provide that required presence, dedicated presence to police all of these farmlands. So the use of the technology is welcome, but as I was saying, it needs to be in a control.
Historian Trevor Marshall today called on the Barbados Labour Party to apologize to Barbadians for attempting to block this country's path to independence close to 51 years ago. He made the comments while delivering the weekly Democratic Labour Party lecture under the theme, The Legacy of the Father of Independence, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow. Marshall suggested that opposition leader Mia Motley should seek forgiveness on behalf of the BLP and the now defunct Barbados National Party, led by her grandfather Ernest Dighton Motley.
They say, look, you see that man Errol Barrow? He's the devil. In those days, people did not use the banks. They put money where? In the mattress, under the bed, or in an old chamber pot. Right? Right? They wrap the money in plastic and put some lemonade in the chamber pot to make you think it's urine, and put the plastic inside there with the money in it so it will not get wet, so your body will go out there.
Buried money in the ground.
Buried my money in the ground. You know what the people said then? If Mr. Barrow, if we go to independence, the Queen cannot protect us, and Errol Barrow can come to every old woman's house and take the money for himself. Am I wrong, sir? They also say, if you got your money in Barclays Bank, etc., you know that if Mr. Barrow, if you get independence, Mr. Barrow, you see, just make Barclays Bank give people like Austin Seeley, etc., signature. If we become independent, Mr. Barrow is going to take all of your money from out of Barclays Bank. And you know what I did to invoke? Listen, Fidel Castro 8 years earlier, in 1959, had taken over Cuba and had moved Cuba to a communist status, which meant that he nationalized everything. People from the Barbados Labour Party and the Barbados National Party invoked the situation in Castro. Instead of saying Barrow will take over your land, they said Barrow will take your money out of your pockets, out of your bed, out of the ground where you've hidden it, and out of the banks.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Former Vice President of the International Football Federation, Jack Austin Warner, is fighting back against a recent High Court ruling that opened the door for his extradition to the United States. 72-year-old Warner filed an application challenging the ruling of the High Court. He is charged with 12 offenses related to racketeering, corruption, and money laundering, allegedly committed in the United States and Trinidad and Tobago, dating as far back as 1990. Warner claims the case against him is politically motivated and accuses the United States of seeking revenge because it lost to Qatar in its bid to host the 2022 World Cup. Back in September, Justice James Aboud dismissed Warner's judicial review in which he questioned the procedure adopted by the Office of the Attorney General in signing off on the US's request for his extradition made in May 2015. And further afield, a Spanish judge has issued European arrest warrants for SAT Catalan leader Carles Puigdemont and 4 of his allies who went to Belgium. The five failed to attend a High Court hearing in Madrid on Thursday when 9 other ex-members of the regional government were taken into custody. One of those detained has been freed on bail of $58,000. They all face charges of rebellion, sedition, and misuse of public funds for pursuing Catalan independence. Puigdemont has said he will not return to Spain unless he receives guarantees of a fair trial. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper email updates and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic weekend.